It's running now.
Can
So, Charles, just tell me about your porch, if you would.
Well, it's a porch with a waterfall, and that's, I think, the most special thing. It's also a very large porch, and as you see, I've collected a lot of rocking chairs over the years, and it was always my notion to have a place to put them. So this
How
was.
many rocking chairs could you fit on here?
I don't know. We had 10 lined up at one point, but that wasn't the limit.
And there are currently 17 in the house.
So I'm told. I've not counted them.
So what have you been doing? I mean, what state was the porch in when you? I mean, how did you come to choose this property?
Well, we stood on the porch and heard the waterfall, and that was it. And then we liked everything else too, but we hadn't even seen, the rest of it before, because you just drive in the driveway and got, and that was the first amazing thing.
So how long has it taken you to get the porch? And I mean, what's the sort of time scale for the? Because it's looking like it's made a huge. I mean, you've got your blue, your porch. Actually, that isn't porch blue.
It's seafoam blue, if you want to duplicate it.
Oh, a seafoam blue as opposed to porch sky blue.
I guess there is actually a porch color, but I've always just gone and picked out the swatch that looked like what I imagined it to be, and then I think this is a bit lighter, and I like it because it sort of flies up better. And
was it blue before?
No, it was white.
Right.
It was white. Yeah. So that was actually I did that. That was the first thing we painted, and a number of people came by and commented on it because that was completely new to them that this porch would have that color.
Oh, right.
So they came by. I said, "Oh, I like the blue."
And so people were doing the porch commentary.
Yeah, well, particularly the neighbors, that had looked at it for so long. And
so, do your neighbors sit on their porch?
No.
So there isn't any nodding.
No, they don't. I think their house is oriented really to the opposite side from the road. I think I actually found it was a little bit odd to sit here and stare at their house in a way, and you can't really help but do it. But
it is.
But I thought it's almost like you're peeping Tom or something.
But oddly, in cities, houses are usually opposite, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I guess they probably look at us from their windows, although I never see them do it. But I would assume they could stare right into our house too. Right?
Checking on the progress of the porch.
Yeah, right.
And the rest of it. So is this your main focus, to get the front looking good at the moment?
Yeah, my notion was that if I could get this side of the house done this summer, that would be significant. And secretly, I'm hoping to get more than that done, but I would settle for that if I can't. And it looks like we're going to make it.
So was this? It was all here, or did you find any porch pieces around the property, or was it?
No, the porch itself is in good shape. The first thing I did when we closed on the house and we came here after we owned it was to walk around the yard and pick up shutters and pieces of shutters, because they were all had been, you can see if you look at, they're all hanging, but they were literally pieces and broken thing, and I have a whole, it's like a puzzle to put back together, and that's part of the shutters upstairs problem that I'll have to be figuring out.
How many shutters have you got to hang, repair?
I haven't even counted, but as I said, there are 10 on this side of the house. And then there are shutters on other sides of the house that used to be there and were taken down.
Right.
There's on that side by the chimney, the windows by the chimney, which there couldn't be a shutter on one side because of the chimney. and yet, and there are shutter shadows, and I found extra shutters that I think are those. And one of the weird things is if you look, there's actually shutter fittings on the side where the chimney is, so you actually couldn't have put the shutter flat on the, you know, it would have had to been like this or something. So I don't, you know, that they must have, but the shutters are not all the same size. They actually are functional, that they close and lock over the windows.
Right,
completely.
yeah, they're not just
decorative. So
But it was interesting because I was learning about how, you know, the two extremes of summer and winter and how you have to prepare the house.
yeah.
Like take gutters off for the winter. And I met somebody who has a sloping porch floor, because and that apparently was designed so that the snow would slide off.
Well, I've heard stories that when the ice dams build up on the edge of the roof, and then if they fall onto the porch roof, that can cause a lot of damage. I don't know. They've not had a winter up here, so.
Are you going to try a winter up here?
No, we'll probably I think we're going to close the house down this year and not heat it and so on. But I'm still playing around with what's feasible. And Leif was telling me that when he decided to move here, he searched for an east-west valley. And most of them are not east-west, they're north-south valleys. And so he actually went all over the place. He went to different states around here, and because the east-west valleys are warmer.
Right.
The sun hits it all day.
The sun hits it all day.
Lots of snow.
And so he was saying that it actually doesn't get as cold here as, you know, nearby. But I don't know what that really means.
Salem or something. But that's interesting.
But it was interesting that somebody would actually set out.
So it
to
might
look
be
for
only 25 below instead of 29 or 30.
But I just thought it was interesting that this guy, like, you know, finished college and then he was off in his van, living in his van, searching for east-west valleys that had, you know, a place for him to have. Not the way that most people search for
a place to live.
And I thought, well, we did it right. We found our east-west valley, even though we had no idea
that you were looking for it. Well, I think that's a good. I'm going to stop there on that
porch talk moment.